let's implement the account verification. Let's follow the following steps. Step number 1 is store user data, and we have already done that, and that is the user registration. So it means that the user is in our MongoDB database. Next step is that we need to generate the token for the verification, and from there we will save it into MongoDB. So let's implement the generation of the token. So back to the users model, we have the following fields. Let's cross check, which is the account verification token and the account verification expires. I think I have duplication. This is the same as the account verification, so let me remove this, and we're gonna focus on these two. The first one is going to save or store the token, and the second one is going to check if the token has been expired or not. So for the generation of the token, we can do it inside the controller, and we can also do it on the schema. And this is what we are going to use. We are going to add a method to the model or to the schema. So let's go ahead and then implement that. Before compiling to form the model, we are going to generate the token for account verification. On the user schema, we are going to add our own methods, and I'm going to call it as generate account verification token. So now this is our dummy method for generating the token. Before we continue, let's go ahead and then create the controller for that. So inside the users controller, we are going to create the controller for verify email account, and as always a sync handler, and here we go. So let's go ahead and then create a route for this. So in the users route, I'm going to copy this, and then it's going to be get method, and the endpoint is going to be account verification email, and here the controller is called verify email account. So let's go ahead and then hit this controller or endpoint, and I'm gonna duplicate this one, change this one to verify email account, and the endpoint is going to be supposed to be inside the users. Sorry guys, supposed to be this one, and the endpoint is this, and send. Our server is hanging, so let's continue with the logic on the schema. Over here, if I log this keyword, these keywords represent the current login user. So if I log this, let me try again and check the console. For some reasons, I'm not seeing the log over here, simply because I'm not calling this method on the user. So in the user's controller, I have to call that method. If you use methods on the schema, unless you use it inside the controller to be able to generate the token. So let's get into the user's controller, and here, first step is that let's find the login user. And lucky for us, since this is behind authentication, we can access the user as user is equal to await the user model dot find by ID, and it is on the rec.user as we have been using. So in case we don't have the user, which is this, then we will throw new error. So let's go ahead and then use the method on the user. Remember, we have this method on all the instances of the user. So here I will say that use the method from the model or the schema. So here is going to be as user. On that we have what is called generate. Make sure to use the exact name, otherwise it will not work. So let's get here and use it as that, and let's await. And now if I hit this controller, is going to call this method inside the user's model or the schema. Now let's try out and let's see in the console. As you can see, now we have the user. That's the instance of the user. So this now represents the user. So I'm going to reassign this one to user is equal to this keyword. So let's continue to implement the generation of the token. So over here, we are going to create what is called reset token, or you can name it as email token. Is equal to, we're going to use a package called crypto from Node.js. So let's import or require it as crypto is equal to require the crypto package. So this package is going to help us to generate token. So here is going to be crypto dot random byte and pass in 20 and use a method called toString and then pass in hexadecimal as that. Now you're going to assign this token to the user. If we log the email token here, let's see, let's try again, and in the console we got the token. Now we have reached this step, that is storing the token. On the user model, we have a field called account verification, which is this one, account verification token. We are going to assign this token to this variable here or property. So here as in the users model, we will say that assign the token to the user. So here as this dot, or I can use the user dot, make sure to use the exact property as account verification token, which is this one. Then assign to crypto dot create hash and then provide SHA-256. This is for the algorithm, and then use what is called update. And for the update, you're going to pass in the email token that we got from the random byte as email token. And lastly, dot digest. And then pass in the hex. So now, when we call this controller, is going to save the token to the user. And let's also update the account verification expires and when to expire, because we have a property called account verification expires. So let's go ahead and then also add that. So here we will say that user dot account verification expires is equal to date dot now. We're going to add plus 10 multiplied by 60 multiplied by 1000 milliseconds, and this is 10 minutes, meaning that we want to expire this token after 10 minutes. So here, let's return the email token. I think I have to assign to a variable as const and email token here. Oh, supposed to be here. Sorry guys, I'm inside the controller. It's supposed to be in the model. Sorry guys. So here as that, and let's return the email token. So in the controller, we have access to the email token. And in case this one looks confusing, let me just use this here as that and then remove this. Now you know this keyword here and remove this. All right, so in the controller, we are using the method here. So it means that we have to assign to a variable called token is equal to that. So if you log the token, let's see, let me try, and let's open the console, and now we got the token. So we have to save this token to the user. So in the user's controller, which is this, we are going to resave the user as await user.save. All right. And after saving, we have to send the email where we are going to send the token to the email. But over here, we are not going to send the token back to the client because this is secret. And let's try again. If I hit send, now let's check in the DB, and for the users, MERN Stack, as you can see now, we have the account verification token over here and the date that this token will expire. All right, now the logics are working. What has left is this part, and that is the send the email with a token. All right, let's continue in the next video.